What if words can make you and others move? Well, what do I mean by this? Well, of course, we have things like music and musicality and freestyling and stuff like that, things that people can keep a tempo, rhythm, and beat to, as others throw out a frequency and pitch, kind of like baseball. But baseball may be too fast for some people. I guess that's why Michael Jordan stuck to basketball like LeBron James and Steph Curry. Anyways, outside of that, everybody has their own game. They have their own thing that they like to play. But when it comes to words, how do they make you move? Well, being a magician for over 20 years, on top of that, being former military, I learned some tactics such as not only hypnosis, but neurolinguistic programming and so much more. And I know because I've had this done to me to make sure that it could work. And then, of course, as I can say, I never recalled it. A friend of mine would show me a video and say, no, look right here. This is when they put you under. This is when they did the rapid induction. This was right after X, Y, and Z variables were in your system that they were able to take control. Now, everybody's heard of MK Ultra and things like that, but what if they're able to do it not only with subliminal messaging, which is, well, hidden messages within audio and video, but what if AI got to learn exactly how human behavior and how humans function because it got a whiff, kind of like a whiffy does, if you know what I mean. It's between the boys, I guess. But a whiffy was something else. Others were called something different in the military, and let's just refer to them as a barracks rat. If you know anybody in the military that used to be in the Marines, you know what a barracks rat is. And let's just say you could get a lot of information out of them, depending if you trust them or not. Outside of that, what if AI, such as ChatGPT, which now actually limits how many chats you have with it, so I guess they got to cut costs somewhere, whereas Gemini is completely free and lets you ask as many questions as possible, but it doesn't answer any political questions according to itself. Now, what if it learned how we operate, learned neurolinguistic programming, and started doing deep fake videos on its own? How dangerous would that be? Would we be living in the Terminator phase? Would we be in the iRobot phase, the Minority Report phase? Because, I mean, think about it. When you go out to a club or you listen to a song and you repeat it over and over again because you're singing it, it's kind of like a positive or negative affirmation. Now, most people don't understand what affirmations are, but they do understand what singing is. Now, if the tone of your voice and the things that you say that come out of it is kind of like spelling, because, well, when they say a spell, like a wizard or a witch or whatever, or that which you choose to call a spell, or that which you choose to call a woman, whatever the case may be, these are the things that occur and these are the things that happen. Because if you notice, people will listen to songs and then they will emulate what they say in the song. People will look up to certain people and then they emulate what they look up to, so on and so forth. If you have a big mouth, so on and so forth, people might emulate you and it's going to rub off. Look at what happened to Andrew Tate. His brother was a little bit calm, cool, and collected. Andrew had a bigger mouth, so they got into trouble. Thankfully, they had a cushion of a lot of money and they were able to get away with it. Others that I know that have a podcast in Florida, I think it was Fresh and Fit, they ended up getting demonetized and everything else, and they actually felt the weight of that pressure. And you can hear it from their frustrations when they talk about getting demonetized, having to move and do new platforms and all this other stuff. So, what is free? Because if freedom of speech is not free and these people are getting dinged and living in other countries just because they come over here and say something that doesn't necessarily resonate with the plan at hand, then words can make not only you, but others take action and do something, which means that not only are your words powerful, but the way you utilize, the way you interpret, the way you understand what is being said can get you to take so much massive action if you only understood the power of communication and your voice. A man once said, I could talk to you like this. I could talk to you like a drill instructor. I could even pillow talk to you. But it all comes down to how you want to be spoken to or how you want to address others. When you're able to put yourself aside, you're able to focus on others and receive what it is that they're trying to say through communication with the intent to understand, instead of how others would be dictated as listening to respond, which comes from Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Another one of those things is, well, using someone's name. If you use someone's first name or the name that they go by the most and you recognize it, it makes them pay attention more because people tend to focus. What happens when your parents call you by your full name? What happens when somebody calls you, and maybe in the Latin culture, by your full name? It probably means you're in trouble, so on and so forth. And these characteristics are taken from different cultures, understood, and then put into practice by psychology and sociologists, so that we can go ahead and not only teach others how to teach their young to stay in a certain way, in a certain path, in a certain system, because let's face it, college isn't really that favorable these days. I know because I went into an MBA program, didn't work out, and now I'm not going to be in an MBA program. And it's as simple as that. Majority of the stuff that I was in there for, and the moment I saw it, I felt like I was back in school, and I was like, I know this already. This is boring. I don't want to participate. How can I get myself to participate? And it was just because of the repetitive nature that I repeated when I had my associate's degree, and I studied finance with an old mentor of mine named Dr. Walter Johnston, who's no longer with us, but he used to be like my best friend, right? He was like my uncle in North Carolina, so on and so forth. Former Marine Corps Raider, all these other things. And let's just say I was trained by the best, if you want to say that. But he was also the person that drove me down to the recruiting office and did a lot for me, as well as calling me out for being intelligent. And that's how I switched my major from mechanical engineering to finance when I was at Rowan Cabarrus Community College. But outside of that, if you look at AI works on prompts, but it learns off of human behavior. So the free platform updates the memory so it can update exactly how to perform the next time it interacts with a human. But then AI is going to go ahead and then get downloaded into robotics, similar to what Elon Musk did. And then that's going to go ahead and learn just like humans, like me and you, because, well, we were all created, were we not? So if you haven't gone to the club or listened to the words that are being said, how the children could be manipulated through that, or how you yourself can be manipulated through that, remember, move your body like a snake, mama. Well, what was a snake, right? Is it the one-eyed snake, or is it moving your body like a snake, like Uchiwali when it first came out? Most people don't understand the rhythm and the beat. So if you were acting as a hunter and you needed prey, right, because you were hungry, how would a hunter act? Well, if we're sheep, well, I would make you dance and mate and do all that stuff, and I would use the proper tool, no matter if it was male or female, to lure you out, moving their body like a snake, because sex sells, and everybody behind closed doors or in dark rooms see other things, and then their mind takes control. This is why when you experience something, people try to talk to you about it as quickly as possible, because your brain will develop a gap and try to fill in that gap with whatever it can just to make sense of it, because your brain needs something logical to grasp onto when creativity comes into place. Oh, and that reminds me, if you haven't seen the last lesson of class, go check it out. Remember, class stands for creativity, logic, art, science, and spirituality, and how everything comes together. And then we're going to probably add a bonus letter depending on how much growth we get. But anyways, if this video helped you, if you thought this was fascinating, if you want to learn more, smash that like button, and don't forget to follow me for more details like this. And always remember, words can not only move you, it can move others too. Because the moment you're able to shine the way you truly want to, it gives people other reasons to say, screw the system and shine themselves. Look, this person is doing it, so that means I can do it too. So go out, take the first step, speak, use your voice, because last time I checked, it's my body, my voice. I really already know that it's your body, your choice, but this is how I'm going to express myself in this day, modern age. Take care. Have a great day. Mike City out.